Hello, everyone. My name is Talal, and welcome to Popcorn and Soda, the show where we discuss all things movies, pop culture, and so much more. I want to thank each and every one of you for making me a small part of your day. Maestro, the latest film directed by one of my favorite actors and filmmakers, Mr. Bradley Cooper, which is now streaming on Netflix, which showcases and goes through the life of great American composer, Mr. Leonard Bernstein. So, what did I think of Maestro? As you guys all know, I'm a big Bradley Cooper fan, whether it's his acting or even his original debut as a director in A Star is Born, which I just thoroughly enjoyed and loved in his performance and his direction in that film. He's back, second time. How did he do in Maestro? Was this a movie that was a worthy follow up to A Star is Born? Did I enjoy it? Did I not? What did I think? Disappointed is sadly the word that I will use in this review of this film. I was a little let down by Maestro, and it's hard to talk about a movie like this because there's so much like the behind the scenes of the making of this film in terms of, guy like Martin Scorsese helped produced it, Steven Spielberg. So there's some heavy hitters that are involved in the making of this film. But for me, for whatever reason, I just couldn't connect with the story. And I'll tell you why. This movie's a biopic. It's about this legendary American composer who I personally didn't really know anything about going into the movie. I think I've heard of the name Leonard Bernstein once or twice in my life, so I didn't really know what the movie was about. So when you're watching a biopic or when you're going into a biopic, one of the main things I always look for is, did I leave this movie knowing more about the person that this movie was about than what I knew going into it? And the answer to that is no. I still cannot name you a single Leonard Bernstein song, compose like one of any of his composing tracks. I literally cannot. And then I think that's where this movie falters, where it's a great movie in terms of Bradley Cooper and Carey Mulligan, amazing in this movie. Both definitely Academy Award worthy nominations. So that part I like respect and I admire that they did such a great job in their acting and portrayal of these characters. But that's where I think the disconnect happened with me is just I felt like they were just characters. I didn't understand who Leonard Bernstein was, his spouse, played by Carey Mulligan, who was, of course, in her own way, a creative as well. There was nothing that connected to me in the story. And I think that's where the story kind of falters because you want to feel, you want to know the highs and the lows about the person of the movie that it's based on. And for whatever reason, I didn't learn more about this character as I left. Sure, there's a couple things that I learned about Leonard Bernstein, but comparing it to successful biopics that that come to mind and me having certain experiences with those, this movie did not give me that experience at all. And that's why I'm a little let down by it because it was on my most anticipated list movie of the holiday season and of the year. Because as I mentioned, I'm a huge Bradley Cooper fan, and I don't think he gets his flowers enough, just even for his amazing acting. So I was a little let down by it. So let's talk about some of those things. So things I liked, because I'm all about giving the flowers. Bradley Cooper and Carey Mulligan give a powerhouse of a performance. To me, I viewed them as characters. I didn't view them as the characters that they were supposed to be playing in real life because I couldn't connect with those characters because I didn't understand the trials and tribulations of Leonard Bernstein. This movie is pretty much a timestamp in like three different aspects of their life. And it almost felt like this could have been about anyone. Any composer, any person who's rich and famous going through these things. That's why I didn't feel the soul of the character in throughout the movie. But Bradley Cooper and Carey Mulligan give an amazing performance in this movie. Both of them. It was just Bradley Cooper, just his gravitas and his almost like carefree, like free spirited performance as Leonard Bernstein was great. I really did like that. And same with Carrie Mulligan. She's really the anchor of this film. She's the one that the film is largely being told from her perspective and her lens in so many ways, as she is the heart of the movie. Although it is about this maestro in Leonard Bernstein. So I love that. I really like some of the supporting cast as well. Maya Hawke, she was great. Matt Bomer was great. I think he was a little underutilized, but I liked Matt Bomer in this movie as well. And I like the technical part of the filmmaking. The cinematography was beautiful. Matthew Libatique, who of course worked with Bradley on A Star Is Born, great cinematography. He always does great work. He is a genius in his own way as well. So I love the technical aspect of it. But to me, a movie's all about what did I feel, and there wasn't much that I felt watching this movie. It's very monotone for me. There was that one incredible scene where Bradley Cooper, in real life apparently as well, which is amazing. He was the conductor of an orchestra who played this full song from the beginning to the end, and it was like almost like a one shot. It was a beautiful powerhouse scene of the movie. It was almost like the crowning jewel of this movie. So I really love that part. But there are things that I didn't enjoy in this movie, and the first one being, as I mentioned, a biopic was this movie, and I didn't feel anything about Leonard Bernstein. I don't think he did a good job of showing his trials, his tribulations, his big performances in terms of what he actually did. It was more so a movie of someone who was having an identity crisis within himself, about his sexuality, about being a creative, which a lot of creatives, if not all, go through. So I feel like they could have delved more into the actual character of Lenny, as they referred to him as in the movie. So that's something I didn't enjoy. I thought the pacing of the movie was a little off, where it's like from one scene to the next to the next. And I get it, that could have been a deliberate choice, but for me, it didn't work because it didn't give us enough time to marinate in what was going on in the story. It was just like bam, bam, bam. It may work for you. Personally, it didn't for me. Um, yeah, so it's a tricky movie because I really wanted to enjoy this. And I went in there wanting to really, really be like, yes, Bradley Cooper, this guy's on his way of, becoming the next great filmmaker. And he absolutely still can. I just think that this movie kind of fell flat if you're comparing it to A Star Is Born. I just didn't find the connection that I was looking for in this movie. So that is how I felt about Maestro. So you guys know me, the way I judge a movie. I don't give star ratings or scores. It's all about one of three things. Is this a movie you watch in a movie theater? Is this a movie you would watch at home on a streaming platform? Or is this like a rainy day movie where you're kind of just like flipping through channels, you land on it and you watch it? To me, this is definitely a streaming platform movie. And of course, it is streaming now on Netflix. So absolutely. It is a streaming platform movie where I don't think you need to experience this on the big screen, because although it's about this larger than life musical conductor, it's a very intimate and small movie where I think you could enjoy it equally at home as you would on a big screen. So I think watching it at home, having snacks, watching it with someone, I think it would be a good viewing experience, because I wasn't fully blown away by this movie, and I don't think the movie experience at a theater would have helped me enjoy it more, because from the very get go, I just really couldn't connect. But again, as I mentioned, art is in the eye of the beholder. You guys know me. Something that I like, you may not, and something that you like, I may not, and that's perfectly okay. That, my friends, is the beauty of cinema. So I encourage each and every one of you, if you're wanting to watch Maestro, go out, give it a shot. You may like it, and you may really enjoy it. And if you do, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. And then please, I do ask, come right back, comment below, and do share the things you liked about this movie and overall what you felt about Bradley Cooper's second directorial day film. So, do I see Oscars in the future of Maestro, yeah, it's definitely going to be a movie that's going to be nominated for multiple different categories, and rightfully so. I think it was a good movie in terms of the production and the acting, but I think it was a poor biopic in my opinion, because I didn't leave knowing more about this character than the trailer already showed me or what I knew before. So there you have it, guys. That is my review of Bradley Cooper's latest film, Maestro.